Okay, today we're getting ready to set up for a little 10 by 12 shelter, and the owners have their holes already dug, and proudly so. And we're going to check out the holes here. Each one of these are 2 foot in diameter, and I should say that these holes are perfectly round. And so we have 4 of those dug out, and we're going to get ready to set up the frame and set the sonotube. Okay, we're finishing up on getting the frames nailed up, and we'll get that done, and then we'll take these frames over, and then we're going to set them over the holes over here, and then we get these centered over the holes. We'll take some stakes and get the frames lined up in a position where we can square them up and level. Okay, now we're putting in the stakes. That's going to lock in the frame left and right. So we'll do that for this entire row here, 8 stakes total, and then we'll go ahead and pull a measurement to this frame over here and do the same thing. Okay, what we do, we pull a tape measure, so we got this side over here locked in, so the center of this frame is where it needs to be from the center of that frame. And so as we do that, we'll put these stakes in, and that stake will go in next. Keep those nice and tight to the frame, so that will keep that locked in. And then we'll continue to do that down to the other side over here, where we have the same dimension from the center to center of that. Okay, so what we're doing now, we're going to pull a diagonal, and we're hooking from the center of that pier over to the center of that pier. Okay, and so what we have here, we have these little screws here that
178.5
show us exactly the center of each pier. So the idea is that we have 178.5 each direction, and you know you've got a perfectly square pier look. Okay, so now we're just finishing up leveling the frame, and we're using a 2-inch screw, and we're just checking the level. And each one of these stakes will get 1 screw in there, and after the frames are all locked into place, we'll go back and do one final diagonal check from pier, and that'll be our final check to make sure everything is perfect, because it just needs. In the place, we have everything nicely leveled and the diagonals down. We're going to remove the centering stakes that we had in there with our centering nails and get those taken off, and then we're going to cut the length of our sonotubes, which will be the round form that goes in there, and that'll form our pier. Okay, we're getting ready to pour the concrete in the pier here, so we're going to fill up the concrete to the bottom of the earth hole, and then once that concrete gets filled in, we'll take the sonotube and position that in there, level with the top of our frame, since the top of our frame is level. And once that goes in there, we fill that with concrete, take these rebars and drop these rebars in there, and that's what connects the upper pier to the lower base of concrete. In which the last thing that goes in here are these brackets, and these will kind of wiggle in there. We'll get those centered up just perfectly, and so that will complete the pier connection. Okay, we're doing the fun part now. We're mixing concrete in this little mixer, and typically these little mixers will take up to 2 to 3 bags per mix. So we're gonna get a little water in there, and we've already got one load dumped in there. We had some rocks that came out of this hole, so we're going to cheat just a little bit and throw a few rocks in there, kind of get rid of those rocks at the same time, and which doesn't hurt the strength of the concrete at all. So we'll just keep getting these poured out. Okay, we're just topping off the pier now. Get a little concrete in there. Take some of these bars and just sort of go ahead and top it off all the way. A couple more shovel loads there. I'm going to rod the concrete to get it to liquefy. Try and do this. The concrete poured actually was mixed just a little bit stiffer than the batch below. So we'll get that, about 2 more shovel loads there. These brackets here, I put center marks on these brackets on this direction and this direction, so I know exactly where to put these. And we're just about there. One more shovel load there. It's okay to go a little bit high. Go ahead and dump the whole thing there. Okay, so I'm going to rod this in place here, and you can kind of see how I'm kind of dropping down there a little bit by doing that. Get nicely liquefied. Go ahead and give me just a little bit more to top it off. Okay. Take this and kind of knife it off a little bit, nice and level, like that. And take our bracket then, which I have the center marks on here. Just sort of wiggle those in there. Kind of twist and turn as we go down. And the secret here, and I might fail in front of the camera here, but is at this base plate, we don't want that sinking below the level of the surface of the concrete. So that's just about perfect right there. We'll take our torpedo level and set that on there and make sure it's nice and plumb. And then we'll let that set for now. We'll come back. Okay, we're all finished pouring up, and took the water hose and cleaned off the 2x4s, and so everything turned out, as I would say, absolutely perfect. So give it about the minimum of 3 days for the concrete to set up, and ready to set the structure.